News at 7. Appeal Court upholds Senator Adeleke's election as Osrc State Governor. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu renews commitment to development of the state. Hoodlums destroy property worth 1 billion naira at National Incubation Center in Zamfara State. And from the foreign scene, Indian court sentences opposition leader to 2 years in jail for defamation. And welcome to the news at 7. I am Akinwumi Abodunde. Tonight we begin with politics. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has set aside the decision of the Osrc State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal and upheld the election of Senator Ademola Adeleke as governor of the state. The Election Petitions Tribunal had sacked Adeleke from office, saying the People's Democratic Party candidate did not score majority of the lawful votes cast during the July 16 governorship polls. In a unanimous judgment by a three-man panel led by Justice Mohammed Shuaibu, the Court of Appeal quashed the tribunal's judgment and upheld the election of Adeleke as governor of Osrc State. The appeal court panel revoked the tribunal's order, which directed that the certificate of return be withdrawn from Adeleke and issued to the APC candidate Boyega Oyetola. The panel held that the Osrc State Tribunal was wrong to have said there was overvoting, a claim that only relied on the evidence by Oyetola and the APC, which did not prove their case. The judges faulted Oyetola and the APC, claiming they only relied on the data from the back-end server and failed to look at the voters' register, which forms the foundation of the whole electoral process. Staying with politics, the Labour Party governorship candidate in Enugu State, Chijioke Edeoga, has rejected the declaration of the PDP contender Peter Mba as winner of the March 18 governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Edeoga said his party is heading to court, expressing disappointment with the electoral umpire over the final outcome of the election after over 48 hours of deadlock in the collation of the results. The Labour Party candidate accused INEC of not doing the right thing in what he called a sham review of the contentious results from the two local government areas of Nsukka and Nkanu East, where there were alleged cases of election violence, thuggery, and other irregularities. Edeoga commended the party's supporters in the state, urging them to remain law-abiding for the progress of Enugu State. In the meantime, the Arewa Consultative Forum has expressed concern over what it termed deployment of religious and ethnic sentiments in the just concluded elections across the country. According to the Pan-Northern Socio-Political Organization, the development portends danger to the well-being of the country if not checked. The forum also decried the difficulties with the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS), uploading of results, scattered violence, vote buying, and intimidation during the polls. However, in its submission, it gave the conduct of the 2023 elections by the Independent National Electoral Commission a pass mark, saying there is no perfect election anywhere in the world. Away from politics, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says his administration will continue to consolidate on its achievements and drive people-oriented programs for a developed Ondo State and a united Nigeria. Akeredolu made the remark at a book launch in recognition of his sterling leadership qualities at local and national levels, written by the publisher of Trace News magazine, Ebenezer Adeniyan. Government House correspondent Benga Oluwajalan reports that the title of the book is Aketi, The Courage to Lead in Trying Times, Service and Leadership. The wife of Ondo State Governor Chief Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu has called on all categories of women to continue raising their voices on issues affecting their immediate society. The governor's wife, while delivering her speech during the celebration of the 2023 International Women's Day at Eco Hotels in Lagos, expressed optimism that women will be more appreciated with persistence and strategy. Government House correspondent Omoriela Hungbeji reports that the event, which had as its theme Embrace Equity, brought together high-ranking personalities, women in various professions, as well as the wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Oshibaju. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has called for policies and programs that will enable Nigerian women leverage technology and innovation to bridge the digital gender gap. Emefiele, in his keynote address at a CBN online seminar in Abuja, noted that it had become very important to provide vast opportunities to bridge the digital gender gap, drive financial inclusion, and increase employment and economic opportunities for women. He also craved broad private and public sector commitment to gender parity and ensuring that women, youth, and rural dwellers have access to digital financial services. The CBN chief noted that digital innovation could be the missing link and a winning strategy for fixing the parity problem and deepening access to financial services. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all commercial banks to henceforth open for operations on Saturdays and Sundays as part of a coordinated effort to ease circulation of banknotes of various denominations. The Apex Bank also confirmed the evacuation of banknotes from its vaults to commercial banks across the country. A statement by CBN Director of Corporate Communications, Isa Abdul-Mumin in Abuja, said a substantial amount of money in various denominations had been received by commercial banks for onward circulation to their respective customers. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has faulted the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timi Silva, over his assurance on the completion date of the Port Harcourt refinery. Silva had, at a seminar in Abuja, said the refinery would be ready before the end of the second quarter of the year. But the IPMAN chairman in Rivers State, Dr. Joseph Obel, said the assurances of the minister were one too many without result. While noting that it was not the first time the minister was making such a promise, he said it was unfortunate that on each occasion he had failed to deliver and that he would fail again. He stated that the federal government was not committed to fixing the refineries and seeing them function, adding that Nigeria is the only member of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, without a functional refinery. You're watching the news at 7 on OSRC television. You can also watch us live on our website, www.osrc.ng, or follow us on Facebook, OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. We'll be back shortly. Please stay with us.
Madam, hello, brother, na 3,005. Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000. Oh yeah. Bring your phone. Ha! 10,000. 1,100. 9 years old to 10,000. No. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10 times rẹ̀.
I told you. Now what go tell?
Thank you for staying with us on the news at 7. The African Development Bank says it has invested about $5.2 billion in supporting and strengthening water and sanitation resilience for almost 97 million Africans in 10 years. According to AFDB, its investment to support water and sanitation on the continent had yielded positive results and saved many lives. AFDB said water is an essential resource with direct impact on Africa's economic potentials, as inadequate access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene services reduces economic opportunities. The bank said towards 2030 and beyond, it will continue to work with and support African countries to drive the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goal targets. The Methodist Church of Nigeria, Archdiocese of Igbobini, has enthroned Dr. Williams Egbetake, the first bishop of newly established Diocese of Owo. The move is sequel to the inauguration of the Diocese of Owo with its headquarters at the Methodist Cathedral Owo, after it was carved out from Akure Diocese. Osrc's Omoshilola Adesoye Ajayi reports that the inauguration of the diocese and enthronement of its first bishop was performed by the prelate of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, His Eminence, Dr. Olivia Alibaba.
In line with the vision to develop spiritually filled members, Methodist Church Nigeria has continued to enlarge its coast with the creation of more dioceses. This church service is to formally ratify the decision of the Biennial Conference of Methodist Church Nigeria that was held in August 2022 for the creation of our diocese comprising Okiowo, Enyogbe, Ekpimisaki, and Ikare, as well as Idoani sections. The creation of the diocese was not without enthronement of a bishop, Right Reverend Dr. Williams Egbetake, and the lay president, Sunday Adeleye.
I now declare that you are Right Reverend Dr. Williams Egbetake, the Bishop of Diocese of Owo. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
In his sermon, Bishop Egbetake charged Christians to do the will of God and always renew their strength in God so as not to be weary in their journey of life. Thereafter was the choir rendition and a special thanksgiving by the bishop. Speaking with Osrc, the Archbishop of Igbobini Diocese, Most Reverend Dr. Olubenga Fafeyiwa, said the creation of our diocese will enhance the strength of the church to perform its obligation, which is evangelism.
We felt it necessary that this place should become a diocese for more expansion, and we thank God for making it a reality today.
Also, Babaijo of the church, retired Justice Adeshuyi Olateru Olagbegi, and Iyaijo of the church, Chief Mrs. Olabode Elizabeth, expressed readiness to work with the bishop for the growth and development of the diocese.
If we depend on ourselves, we will be totally insufficient. It is only by the grace of the Lord that we will be made sufficient. But all members of the circles which constitute the diocese, they are delighted to have the grace and blessing of this inauguration, and all have pledged and have indeed shown it since August last year.
The prelate, His Eminence, Dr. Oliver Ali Abba, expressed confidence in the spiritual strength and the ability of the new bishop.
He's a great man whom God have called unto himself
to serve in his vineyard. He's a man whom you have tested and approved.
With his enthronement perfected, Bishop Egbetakin has vowed to continue propagating the gospel of Jesus Christ beyond the church of the diocese. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Of course, congratulations are in place for the new bishop. We return to the story on celebration of International Women's Day, and the wife of Ondo State Governor, Chief Betty Anyamwa Keredolu, has called on all categories of women to continue raising their voices on issues affecting their immediate society. The governor's wife, while delivering a speech during a celebration of the 2023 International Women's Day in Lagos, expressed optimism that women will be more appreciated with persistence and strategy. Government House correspondent Omoniola Ngbeji reports that the event, which had as its theme Embrace Equity, brought together high-ranking personalities, women in various professions, as well as wife of the Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Oshibaju.
Of the 423 legislative seats declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), with outstanding 46 other constituencies as at February 25, women got 15, which represents 3.5%, while the men secured 408 seats, representing 96.5% of the 423 seats. Compared with the statistics of the parliamentary elections of 2015 and 2019, female representation in the 2023 polls is least encouraging, despite increased agitation in the last 3 years for gender balance and more active female participation in politics. Lamenting the scenario, wife of Ondo State Governor Betty Anyamwa Keredolu said, despite the results, women are very much positive about winning regardless. Hence, the need to remain unyielding in pursuit of balance of male-female percentage in all phases of governance and career.
I keep telling people to change the narrative of our story as Nigerian women. We have to be at the decision-making table. We need to sit there. And that's why I was brought to tears when very few women got in this time. Who will speak for us? Who will raise our voices? Who will protect our interests?
She encouraged nurturing and mentoring young girls to function effectively in any field of life, describing it as the best approach to achieve gender parity, just like Bimo Empowered initiative that produced one of the youngest certified female engineers in Nigeria.
Bimo has sufficiently demonstrated that digital skills are gender neutral. And I want to say here that it's only when you show these young ones the road and mentor them that they will believe that they are capable.
The wife of Vice President, Mrs. Dolapo Oshibaju, who harped on why women should always follow up on their dreams, encouraged them to look up to other female folks who had made indelible marks in various fields and not be discouraged by obstacles.
So today I say to all of us, go on, dream and win. What are your dreams? We look forward to celebrating you this same time next year. Press on, knowing that your achievements will inspire and encourage countless others.
Others who spoke at the events including President, African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, Minister for Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, among others, stressed the need for more empowerment and recognition of women to enhance developmental growth.
That we must attain full gender parity of 50% men and 50% women in organizations. That way, we move beyond talking about gender sensitivity to full gender balance and equity.
The poor performance of Nigerian women at the just concluded election is an indication that we need to sustain our advocacy and change our strategies to ensure that more women are presented
governor's wife was appreciated by the bank through his board chairman, Dr. Dere Awoshika, for her doggedness, resilience, and commitment to the cause of womanhood as a result of her various female-related programs.
We are committing excellent work across the nation. Thank you and congratulations.
The event was part of efforts to commemorate this year's International Women's Day. Omoriola Ubiji, Osrc News.
Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says his administration will continue to consolidate on its achievements and drive people-oriented programs for a developed Ondo State and a united Nigeria. Akeredolu made the remark at a book launch in recognition of his sterling leadership qualities at local and national levels, written by the publisher of Choice News magazine, Ebenezer Adeniyan. Government House correspondent Benga Oluwajano reports that the title of the book is Aketi, The Courage to Lead in Trying Times, Service and Leadership.
The public presentation held at the International Culture and Events Center, Dome in Akure, attracted eminent personalities, top government functionaries, traditional religious leaders who witnessed the book launch to celebrate the governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Governor Akeredolu thanked the publisher of Trace News magazine, Prince Ebenezer Adeniyan, for recognizing his achievements, said he will not rest on its hers to develop Ondo State. The governor, represented by his deputy, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, said he will not be deterred, but rather strive to continue fighting for a just, sustainable, and equitable society.
Our administration will continue to support the operational capacity of all security agencies in the state, both in terms of equipment and the welfare of their personnel, just as we have demonstrated over the years. Let me use this opportunity to commend President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for his recent assent to some bills that support devolution of powers. This is a welcome development to further devolve powers and responsibilities to the states as federating units.
Governor Abiodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State, represented by the State Secretary to the government, Alaja Habibat Adubiaro, and Minister of State for Transportation, Ademola Adegoye, said Governor Akeredolu has exhibited quality integrity with striking traits of courage.
Governor Akeredolu is a quintessential gentleman, the archetype of courage and fairer Ebola that professes in the market square. Aketi is everything an Omodoabi should be. He is epitome of courage, compassion, and candor that is associated with ancient laws of Yoruba spiritual custom.
It symbolizes the faith of courage, honesty, and integrity in our current political dispensation. Governor Akeredolu, in his capacity as chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, can rightly be credited today for the success of the power shift from the northern part of Nigeria to the southern part of our country with the result of the last presidential election against all odds.
The chairman on the occasion, Senator-elect Jimo Ibrahim, and book reviewer Dr. Felix Ali, said the title of the book is apt and summarizes Governor Akeredolu's leadership to fight for the common man.
Something unique about his leadership is the fact that Aketi's weaknesses is less than his strength.
Which is a matter of style, an exclusive license for only the author, the book engages topics in no particular order of importance. Topics such as the activity, his end-to-end legacy, economic book building.
The author and publisher of Trace News magazine, Prince Ebenezer Adeniyan, said the book highlights the governor's solution to many of Nigeria's recurring challenges.
Such interventions in the last 6 years of his governorship are worthy of documentation for posterity, and this may just be what we need for a Nigeria that works for all, and the necessary turning of his inspiration for the younger generation.
Also at the occasion was a special presentation to the alma mater of the author, CC Adu Memorial High School in Akure, and unveiling of the book for public consumption. Benga Oluwajano, West House News.
Jigawa State Government has reduced the official work hours in the state by 2 hours during the Ramadan period. The head of service, Hussaini Kila, said the civil servants in the state will report to office at 9 a.m. and close by 3 p.m. between Mondays and Thursdays. Also, workers will be in the office on Fridays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. He explained that the gesture is aimed at providing more opportunities for civil servants to prepare for the Ramadan break and to have more time to observe the spiritual activities of the holy month. More than 1 billion naira worth of property belonging to National Board for Technology Incubation Center in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, have been destroyed by hoodlums. The Northwest Board member of the center, Muhammad Musa, said the center was vandalized and valuable assets carted away. According to him, more than 1 billion naira worth of property belonging to the National Board for Technology Incubation in Gusau had been destroyed by hoodlums. Musa said the incident has been reported to the security agencies to fish out those behind the crime. Moving to the foreign scene, Indian opposition leader Rahul Gandhi has been sentenced to 2 years imprisonment in a criminal defamation case. The Congress MP was convicted by a court in Gujarat state for 2019 comments about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's surname at an election rally. His party said he was being targeted for exposing the government's dark deeds. Akinshamola reports.
Supporters of Rahul Gandhi have protested after a lower court in India sentenced the opposition leader to 2 years in jail on defamation charges. The case was over a 2019 speech in which he referred to thieves as having the surname Modi, that of the Indian Prime Minister. Gandhi would appeal against the order, but being jailed or disqualified in Parliament will strike a blow to his Congress party ahead of the 2024 general elections. A vote Narendra Modi's party is expected to win. 52-year-old Gandhi was present in court, which gave him bail immediately and suspended the sentence for a month. The judgment was passed by magistrate court in the city of Surat in Modi's home state. The case was brought by Gujarat lawmaker from Modi's Bharatiya Janata party. In the speech ahead of the last election in 2019, Gandhi referred to the Prime Minister and 2 fugitive Indian businessmen, all surnames Modi, while talking about alleged high-level corruption in the country. Gandhi, a former Congress president, is currently an influential MP and told the court his comment was not about any community or individual. In Kolkata, Gandhi's supporters clashed with the police while dozens of opposition leaders stood in parliament, chanting slogans against the sentence. This was the reaction from the Congress party president, Malakai Jakaji.
We did have an inclination about the judgment, but we have full faith in the law and judiciary, and we will fight according to the law.
Gandhi's once dominant Congress now controls less than 10% of the elected seats in Parliament's lower house and lost badly to Modi's party in the last 2 general elections. Akintunde Akinshimola for Osrc News.
To end the news at 7, another look at the major stories. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has set aside the decision of the Osrc State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal and upheld the election of Senator Ademola Adeleke as governor of the state. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu says his administration will continue to consolidate on its achievements and drive people-oriented programs for a developed Ondo state and a united Nigeria. Indian opposition leader Rahul Gandhi has been sentenced to 2 years imprisonment in a criminal defamation case. That's it on the news at 7. Thank you for being a part of it. Good evening.